right, copy, bro.
Hey, shalom, shalom. The brothers of the Great Millstone, Chicago branch up in Evanston. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, B'Kah B'Dash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathen, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, we say shalom.
Wow.
And yeah, we're gonna he turning up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
By yourself.
Jake, yeah.
That's a Friday.
Heathen that, but we just said to the scattered elect, scattered among the heathen.
There you go.
That heathen right there ain't no heathen.
Oh, that's a Jake.
He in the heathen state of mind, but that's a Jake, man. But yeah, I'm gonna just go in a little bit on that movie, brother. I wouldn't waste your time.
All day.
But the movie is called Everything Everywhere, I believe, with Michelle Yeoh. I went to go see the movie, and I actually went to go see the movie so that I could possibly get a lesson out of it. That's what I go to the movie. When I watch movies, I'm always looking. I'm looking for what Esau's going to reveal. For the message. A point of edification. And the movie, I've been watching Michelle Yeoh for many years. I'm a fan of hers, and she's the only reason that I watched the movie outside of the fact. Because if she wasn't in the movie, I wouldn't have watched it. All right? But the movie is wicked as hell. It's definitely on some the transhumanism. It's on that elevate the woman over the man and to godhood, that woman worship. And the demasculation of men. It's like almost every movie in Babylon. And now, not only in Babylon, this will go to show you, America and China are about to face off in this Third World War. And basically, China literally wants to replace America, even in wickedness, because they're on the same agenda. Demasculation of, even though they don't really want women leaders over there, but they still pushing forth that Esau's vibration. For them to be so against Esau, they have a love-hatred relationship with Esau, and so does Ammon. Because when you look at all those animes, man, it's very rare you watch an anime where the characters look like they're either Chinese or Japanese. They always look like they're Esau. So it's like they know something is wrong with them. Their whole epicantic fold, which is what people call the slant eye. It's called epicantic fold. Like they're not proud of what they look like, and that is a mark that was put on them. Just like paleness was put upon Edom. But give me that whatever you have, and they go to Romans. Was that 1:25? You turn things upside down.
You said Romans 1.
Romans 1.
I got you.
That whole thing, the feminine portion. You know what I'm talking about.
Funny, I was right there. You go right back to it.
Esau played a real trick on Moab. He got them thinking this better look like them. But here's what you say, like cartoons and everything, all their heroes, the video games they came out with all their heroes.
They come out with the dope video games.
And they all got Edomites.
But they look very few of their characters actually look like Ammon or Moab.
The heroes.
And Tekken is probably the only one where they still look like they all got Edomite mothers or something, or Edomite fathers or something, the characters.
This is the book of Romans 1:21. Because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain in their own imaginations, and their foolish hearts was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible power into image made like to a corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts, and creeping things.
So all this idolatry. Watch the video on these Greek fraternities, and all the ancient gods that all their fraternities worship, that it goes back to. All right? So Jake and the world is into these idols. Go ahead.
Wherefore the Most High also gave them to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
And there we go. That's what I wanted to do, because one of the coldest scenes in the movie, right? Well, it started off that way. Well, Michelle Yeoh's facing off against not one man, but two men. All right? Both the men are fighting with butt plugs hanging out of their butts.
Well, what else?
But they had, this one chick had butt plugs on her desk at the IRS, which is right about right. That's all you do is get screwed by the IRS.
Yeah.
They're an illegal entity that's operating outside of the laws that govern this country. That's an unlawful organization that American citizens allow to exist. Nobody voted for them at all. It's a privately owned bank, but they're handling government business. But anyway, despite all that, the dudes jumped up in the air and did kung fu splits onto them, and then were fighting this chick with dildos or butt plugs hanging out of their asses.
Right. Going back.
Right. With one of them with no pants on, so they got the whole blot out scene.
Right.
But this whole, and he doing all these kung fu moves and flips and kicks, and they actually fought better with these things hanging in their ass. And it was so demasculating.
Right.
And so, and the audience and all the women in there laughing, thinking it's funny.
Right, yeah.
And it wasn't funny at all, man.
Yeah, Folly said a great thing.
Yeah, Khan, you grab that too. It was sickening, man. So that's why I'm telling you, don't go see the movie, man. You're gonna be vexed.
For those Asian men that were doing that.
Yes.
So let's add on back to what you said too about the masculinity of Moab and Ammon. And Esau loved brother. Not only did he drop goddamn heavy 2 bombs on them, and destroyed Japan, and then put a military base in. He smacked them in the face, put a military base in.
And told them they couldn't have a military.
Told them they couldn't have a military, they have a security force.
Yeah.
And now you got movies coming out in 2022 and men are still getting demasculated. Man. That's
Exactly.
That's in the face.
Yeah.
Esau, man. You don't stop.
And then you wondering why these nations are turning on.
Yeah. The nations were
All
mad.
right. Go ahead.
Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator?
And there it is, man. They serving they worshiping man. Esau set himself up to be a god, but his whole spirit is so effeminate that Esau wants to worship women. All right, point blank, period. Esau is all about woman worship, man. Shalom, brothers. Shalom, mighty man. Yeah, man. So Esau really wants to worship women, and he showed you that in this movie. Like I said, and so here this woman is battling 2 mighty men, all right, with weapons, with dildos with butt plugs hanging out their ass, and she's defeating them both. And then she stripped them. Then she stripped them of their butt plugs, and they lost their power.
Oh, wow, that was
This movie that bugged
So
out the
I'm telling you, man, do not go see this movie, man. It's beyond wicked, brother. That shit ain't right. And it was some woman elevating and over the man, making a god out of these women. Basically, her and her daughter like gods.
Well, are they going through like different dimensions of time period?
It's multiverses, like the Spider-Mans. You got a little pig Spider-Man,
Exactly.
a raccoon Spider-Man,
Yeah.
the white Spider-Man, the black Spider-Man, the Hispanic Spider-Man.
Exactly.
It was multiverses.
Okay.
That's the new agenda. They got the
This multiverse shit.
Yeah.
now
because
that's the women agenda they put.
Yeah, and not only that, what's that thing that they want to plug
Metaverse?
into? The metaverse.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, the whole metaverse thing.
They got a bunch of new superhero movies coming out with public women. Remember the woman who a few years back?
Yeah, they got the Hulk woman coming out
They got
now.
a Hawk woman.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
They got the Nova Squad women. They got a bunch of bullshit.
They go hard.
Club on this women
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly. I grew up with the Marvel comics, man. And look, Captain Marvel was a dude,
Yeah,
man.
now they done changed to a woman, man.
And now so now you got Captain Marvel is now
Guy looking woman.
right, exactly.
Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator? Who is blessed forever? Amen. For this cause, the Most High, bear with me. For this cause, the Most High gave them up to vile affections, for even they women did change their natural use into that which is against nature.
There you go, man. The two women doing the scissors, which I just learned what that was a little over a year ago. You know, yeah, you know, scissoring.
Or pillow printer.
Right.
Pillow-
Carpet munching and scissoring, doing the scissors.
They get ready to go do it.
Okay, ready to go. They about to scissor it up right now. Hey, that's a cave hole right here, man. Come on, that look like her feet bleed.
Fuck, as long as she makes that dance.
That bra look like she just came back from a gangbang.
What is it? Bukaki?
Wow.
Hey, and a
Her
lot
makeup was all fucked up.
Right.
Her dress is all wrinkled. And she walking barefoot. It's like 40 degrees out here in the rain, man.
Right. Make it even colder.
And she just walking barefoot, man.
got beat.
Damn. Go ahead, brother.
And likewise, the men leaving the natural use of a woman, burning their lust one towards another.
Right, so you got all this woman, and these dudes want to be with men. Want to be with other men.
Time.
All right? They must be headed to some event or something.
Yeah, every week.
Look like she had hers already, though.
Yeah.
But go ahead, brother.
And it says, their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat.
Right, so the recompense in the error is going to be that ICBM missile fire. All right? When the Lord send them arrows, man. You know, those arrows of correction. It's going to cleanse this place. Because this place needs to be cleansed. All right? The current management is gonna be a house cleaning. We all going to get fired at once, literally.
That's right.
You know? Literally. What was it that folly is saying? Great day.
This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 5. There is evil which I have seen under the sun as an air which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great duty, and the rich sit in low places.
Right. So one of those multiverses in the movie was a place where everybody had hot dogs with fingers.
Oh, wow.
And the women were sticking the hot dogs in each other's mouth, and the hot dogs were squirting out mustard. I'm telling you, man, folly is set in great dignity. I was like, what the? It wasn't even necessary to. I was like, it must have been some Edomite writers,
Oh, yeah.
you know, involved in this shit.
Seth Rogen.
I started looking for them Jewish names,
Right.
you know,
Harvey Weinstein and somebody put it through.
you know, because I was like, what the hell, man?
Bring it back here. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places, man. You know, the ox said, man, they understand, man, about this movie they have, man, about this womenism they're pumping nowadays, man. Babylon is pushing a womenism spirit out here, feminism spirit out here.
Female bus drivers, female cops, you know, female post, and for every, and that goes to show you, man, for every woman that's working a job like that, that's a man without a job.
Exactly.
All right, which is creating that imbalance. That's why this place is falling. It's not in balance, man. It's not in balance at all, man. And an unjust balance is an abomination. I mean, real talk, man. You know, this whole college thing, and that's all. Go ahead, brother.
I don't get it all. I'm looking for it up. Yeah, I got one.
All right. Well,
I got something.
Go ahead, brother.
It's Jeremiah, we're going to start at 10 and 2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Like the elder said, man, learning the ways of the heathen, because the heathen's ways and the heathen's customs are totally against the Heavenly Father, man. You got the heathens, they're into homosexuality, bestiality, they're into idol worshiping.
In Tennessee, they're putting up laws where they can marry children right now as we speak. All right, so that so it's going to be the ABCD, EFGQ plus P pretty soon, man. They're gonna add pedophile to that because pedophilia is going to be, and that's why people like that don't get punished often when it comes to the law, man. Unless it's Jacob.
Oh yeah.
All right, but usually people like that, especially if they Esau, they get off or they get a lighter sentence. They try to, I mean, look at Cain Velasquez right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cain Velasquez should be held as a hero.
Oh yeah.
All right, he did what most men say they would do if they could get their hands on a person who did those things to their children, man. You know?
But that was his child?
Yeah.
It was his son.
Hell yeah.
And they were trying to downplay it in the media. They kept saying a family member, knowing that was his son. So you know, some fruity dude that freaked off on your 4-year-old son, you know, and then they let him, you know, they let the dude out of jail and he went after him.
Right.
So you know, he came to the jail, but when he found, I guess, you know, they have to inform the person, and he lost it, man. And he showed up while the dude was getting it and was being picked up, and tried to light him up.
But hit pops.
Yeah, he ended up hitting his fruity, hey, Shalom, brother. He ended up hitting his fruity pops.
Oh, so he didn't get the credit.
No, he didn't get it because he got his father.
He ended up hitting his father, and then they accused him of 3 counts of attempted murder or something. But you know, that's somebody just but just go to show you though that people are against Esau's agenda because anonymously, because the whole MMA community was backing Cain, you know, and putting money together, stuff like that. But anonymously, somebody donated $40 million to his defense fund.
Oh, he gonna get off.
So yeah, because if you could pay Esau, you out of there. But the point is, man, you know, I wish Cain would have just put his hands on him. If he was gonna go down, do it the right way. You can't fucking Velasquez, man. He could have grabbed that dude, you know, and killed him quicker than he would have done.
Yeah.
You know?
Said,
Go ahead, brother.
Habakkuk, born in the film, go down 4. Why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth, man.
Wrong judgment proceedeth, man. Exactly. Give me that Romans 15 and 4 about that shit. Yeah, the wrong judgment definitely proceedeth.
This is Romans 15 and 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
We're ready for our learning. Read that again, brother.
This is, when we read the whole thing, I'm gonna get to the point.
Get to the
Habakkuk
point.
1 and 4. So therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
And that's what's going on, man, because everything was written aforetime for us to learn. And that's why the Lord we're seeing wickedness on the level that we're seeing it, so that we actually know how to be judges, man. All right? That's why we get so offended. And the more you get into the Lord, the more you read the scriptures, and the more you get in tune with Yahweh Shem Shai, man, the more offended you are at wickedness. You know, when the Lord is really working with you, man. All right? Even in wickedness you may do yourself, man. You know, that's when, you know, a true man of the Lord, you know, that's why when he go off, if he does something that's off, man, he has regret, he feels bad about it, man. If you don't feel that way, man, you're not a man of the Lord, man. If you can do something that's off and then be cool with it, then, you know, eventually you're going to get casted away.
We were thinking, me and the brother was talking earlier about how you see the younger brothers in this truth and how when we were in our 20s and stuff like that, the truth wasn't for us at the time. Everything's for a point in time, but at the same time, we look at them brothers, strong brothers, but yeah, going like you say, you gotta, this man, it's rough.
I got something real quick. You know, Ecclesiastes 10 and 5, there's an evil which I have seen under the sun as an error which proceeded from the ruler, man. All right, we're living in a place where anything goes. All right, where I'm good is called bad, and bad is called good, man. All right, you got these laws and these executive orders and all these things that are in place, but it's all based on oppression, man.
It's all based upon oppression. And then we are still in Babylon, America, the bitter place. And an executive order is not a law. It's not a law at all, man. And you know, they modeled this society off the Bible, so they say. All right? And look, man, in the scriptures it says, where there is no sin, there is no law. So, Salakia, where there is no law, there is no sin. Okay, so that's pretty much the same thing, man. An executive order is not a law. America has laws on books. And basically, what they're doing is they're bypassing the judicial system in America, right? Because supposedly you got somebody grabbed that unjust balance. I spoke about it. It's an abomination because you had three branches of government that's supposed to, you have your legislation, your judicial, right, and then you have your executive branch. What they're doing is they're bypassing the judicial and going straight to the executive. The executive is bypassing judicial and just making laws, man, which is creating an imbalance. Which is stirring up, this because look, where does the Federal Reserve and the Fed come in that? It's not a part of the judicial system. The Federal Reserve is not a part of the executive branch, and it's not a part of the legislative branch, man. So why do they have a voice and have power? You see, look, Americans are really simple, man. They're not as smart as they think they are, man. They're a bunch of educated dummies. Because what happens is you don't get educated, you get indoctrinated, man. That's what they do in the United States food system. You don't get educated at all. You get indoctrinated, right? That's exactly what happens. And they start you off young because the rich, wealthy people that brought everybody out from homesteading and farming and being and making their own way, making coats, garments, whatever from the sheep, from the wool of your own sheep, selling the meat, the milk from your own cows and chickens or whatever. They took that away from people, all right, and then they condensed it and brought everybody into the gigantic major cities, all right, and what they needed, and these rich families, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, they needed factory workers. All right, they needed good factory workers. That's why the school system was set up the way it was set up, for you to learn how to be a good worker, not how to go out and do what they did and create business. And look at what that's gotten us. All right, and now the system is failing because there's no light in it. You got something? Bring it out, brother. Go ahead, brother. Somebody get Isaiah 8:20 pop the shot.
Proverbs 16:11 is a just weight and balance. Then I was like, damn. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
Right. So that's an abomination in a false balance, man. Because like we said, there are three branches of government that are supposed to control things in America, but you got a fourth branch that has nothing, nobody voted in, that seems to have more power than the other three altogether.
He trumps everybody.
All right, so how and they all ran by the small hats, who always constantly saying they need help. You own every goddamn thing. They had the nerve to send some Jewish fund to me to send to give to the man. I'm like, fuck y'all. That's bullshit to me. Y'all still haven't given any sort of reparations to the people who the land you stole. You stole from one side of my family. You stole their land. Then the other side of my family, you enslaved and made them build the shit up for free. So what the hell I'm going to give to you? You should be giving to me.
Right. Hey, just go to that aid office over there in Evanston, man. You'll see them 1940s right in the line with everybody else. This motherfucker owned fucking probably like 10 buildings.
But he's still in the line.
He's still in the line to get free food.
Well, I'll tell you about the Russian lady came with the mink coat.
Yeah.
Parked 550 beds out front. And she, like you said, she rushed to the front of the line, my nigga. She didn't have to wait in line like the rest of us. She came in, got her little government assistance and left out. And like you said, she probably owned a store or two where she can stock up all the food at, man.
That's why scripture says, if thieves by night, would they not left some grapes, man? This nigga's the Grinch. Remember the Grinch? He took the fucking little crumb and little
right
crumb.
from the mouse.
Yeah, the crumb rolls down the fucking hall and shit. The damn mouse trying to get it in. Hey, but that's why these lower level Edomites are mad because they're realizing that they got fucked over by their own government They hell, like you said, even their government isn't the real government, man. Here it is, you voted for a motherfucker, but you got Anthony Fauci telling you what to do. You voted for somebody, but then you got Bill Gates telling you what to do.
Exactly.
You know?
So it's the same damn thing, man, which is also how you know it's a corporation.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you just had a bunch of people within the government say that that people need to listen to what the president says because he's a CEO. Just like you have a CEO of a big corporation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, man. No, that's not how it works. That's why, these people, why you got so many patriarchs that are ready, patriots, that are ready to go at it. It's just going to take the right thing to set it off, man.
I got one for you real
Go
quick.
ahead, brother.
This is Psalms 55:9. Destroy, O Yahweh, and divide their tongues. For I have seen violence and strife in the city.
Ooh, that's a great scripture, brother, because that's exactly what's happening. And America's on this campaign to really demonize Russia. And the reason they're going so hard to demonize Russia is because America in the West keeps getting exposed.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everything that happened with the C word, or everything that happened with that.
What about the child
with Jeffrey Epstein? Oh yeah, they keep getting exposed. So the more they get exposed, the more they do distraction stories in the news to smoke screens to have you thinking about and looking at other stuff, man. All right, that's exactly what's happening. Because I don't know if you brothers are aware of it, but I ordered something from India. I ordered a parcel that was coming from India about a week and a half ago. And all of a sudden, 3 days ago, about 3, maybe 4 days ago, I got an email that the parcel was being sent back. It was canceled, that they canceled it, and I was getting a full refund. I'm trying to figure out, what the fuck? All right, well, whatever. I'm getting a refund, so fuck it. All right? But then I find out 3 days later, yesterday, I found out that Hungary accepted the deal with China and Russia to buy its things from Russia with the ruble, which is being moved through the Chinese yuan. What do they call that system?
The SWIFT system.
The SWIFT system, through the Chinese version of it. And so not only that, all right, but 200 nations, all right, 200 nations dropped the dollar to do the same thing.
Damn.
Yep.
So it's about to go down.
Oh, yeah.
The dollar is done.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You got 200 nations said no more. They're not dealing with the petrodollar, and then that made sense because that's why they canceled that order. I was like, then it made sense. I was like, right. So right as he was like, well, fuck, we ain't fucking with the dollar no more. They cut that shit off, man.
And you know what that leads to? War.
It's going.
Once
I
you
was about to say that,
these
yeah.
countries, you know what I'm saying? You fuck with their money, man.
You know what else? It's a lot of websites I used to go on, and they've been canceled ever since the thing in Ukraine. Yeah, this website's no longer up in America. It's like they cut America off from the world, man.
Yeah,
They did that to RT News. They canceled that for a hot
They
time.
canceled that too,
They
yeah.
had to reload the new
because they don't want you to hear the other side. They want to hear you that one-sided thing. And so while all this he gonna have to run that.
Oh, he's smart.
They got to run all that.
But while they want you to hear this one-sided thing, what they did yesterday or over the weekend, just a couple of days ago, the UN all voted to put Russia out of the UN.
Yeah.
So Russia's no longer part of the United Nations. So that became the news to cancel out the fact that members of the United Nations are buying stuff from Russia through the Chinese SWIFT system. So in order to, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they want to keep Russia Russia's the bad guy. Russia's the problem. All right. But once again, never taking no accountability for all the things that they've done. All right. Not taking no accountability that they had those chemical plants over there in Russia's backyard, making these chemicals, planning on using it against the Russians, and the Russians responded to that.
Yeah.
They don't mention that part. Every time they talk about it, on the news, all the people in the media are being told to say, when Russia invaded Ukraine, they're not talking about the other side of it. All right? Because what you expect a man to do when you kick in his front door.
Yeah.
Fight back.
All right, he's going to more than likely, if he has the ability to fight back, he's going to fight back.
Right.
And then America, when you do that, America will accuse you of being an insurgent.
Oh yeah.
And it's amazing, man. They invaded Iraq, all right, illegally, under a sworn testimony. Somebody get that bearing false witness. Colin Powell testified before Congress that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And there were not weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and the whole world knows that now. But yet they killed over 1 million civilians, man. But nobody in the world was saying that America is guilty of crimes against humanity. And then the way that they treated the prisoners and called them terrorists and insurgents for defending their own house.
Still like I said,
All right, making movies about snipers over there shooting them. Wait, you in my land?
Right.
I live here. You hiding buildings shooting me and shooting my people when we walking down the street because you invaded me. And then call me a terrorist for defending myself.
Right.
That is the most sick. It's just insane how they take no accountability for what they do. And then Saddam Hussein was a bad man. Motherfucker, what president in America wasn't a bad man?
Yeah.
Right? And the whole world now knows that when they dropped Little Man and Fat Boy, that Japan had already surrendered.
Yeah.
They had already surrendered, man, but you dropped Little Man and Fat Boy anyway.
Let's test it out.
Right.
All right. To prove a point, to establish dominance, we gonna kill, a couple 100,000 people.
Wipe them off.
Right. And they just a bunch of slant eyes. They don't
They
matter.
said you can see their shadows on the floor that fire was so hot.
Yeah.
Boy.
Another thing that America does, not only do they kill the people, they kill the infrastructure. So if you might have a hell of a water system going, they're gonna destroy it. They destroyed the Iraqis' water system.
What did they do
still can't
first?
even cut
They
it.
went after the hospitals, the airports, anything where the infrastructure.
Yeah, kind
They
of.
tore the infrastructure up.
Continuity of
because they want you to be completely dependent upon them for everything.
That's continuity of government.
Yep.
Right. That's what they do, and they